Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Another day, another English vlog. Today I want to talk about insecurities, which is the thing that I find very difficult to talk about. Simply because it is everywhere and it happens to all of us. But we either don't think of it or don't want to talk about it at all, which makes it become quite an abstract topic. Alright, let's begin with the definition. What is insecurity anyway? I have looked it up in the online dictionary. So, according to Cambridge Dictionary, insecurity is a feeling of lacking confidence and not being sure of your own abilities or of whether people like you or not. So basically, what insecurity does is it makes you feel less confident in yourself. Whether it makes you feel that way in your work life, your love life, or your friendship, or any other relationships. Now, we all have our own insecurities, no matter if it is about your appearance, the look, about the family backgrounds, or the past. Anything can become our weak points and cause us to feel insecure. Luckily, some of us manage to overcome them easily and live our lives to the fullest. But for some others, it's not that easy. So today, I will tell you some of my ideas about the topic, as well as some approaches that you can apply to your daily life to feel more at ease with yourself and prevent insecurities from eating you up from the inside. Let's say, how can you tell if something is your insecurities? Maybe before continue watching the video, you should sit down and think carefully what you hate or are not satisfied with yourself and make a list out of them. It could be a long list, right? I think most of us have something to do with our appearances, the look. Women usually have those thoughts like, my nose is not tall enough, my body is not slim enough, my voice is not good enough, and this is why we need plastic surgeons or the weight loss pills and supplements. Blah blah. Those industries that thrive thanks to humankind's variety of the beauty standard we set for ourselves. In this world of social media, where everyone shares the best moments of their lives, though fancy and perfect pictures can stir a wave of insecurities in all of us. The more you look at those online social accounts, the more you feel bad about yourself. In other case, a bunch of us don't feel comfortable talking about our past experiences. Your parents are divorced. Your family is not wealthy enough. Some of my younger friends told me that they doubt themselves for not being good enough, since everything has been quite easy for them. Born in a good family, went to high-ranked school, and all of that. They have never experienced pain and hardship. Therefore, there's not any force to push them forward. Basically, this is called peer pressure. You looked at people and friends around you and ask, why can't you be like them? No matter what your problems are, it all comes down to two words only: not enough. These two words sound simple, but they are freaking deadly. We never feel like we are enough for anything. Well, you know what? Because there's always room for improvement, and that's one of the greatest gifts of life. Everything has their two sides. Personally, I think insecurities are such an important part in our lives, and the way we treat them will make or break your future or your life. By saying that, I mean feeling insecure about yourself can actually be the best thing that happened in your life. I'll bet you know this line from the song Stronger of Kelly Clarkson. The line goes like this: what doesn't kill you make you stronger. So how to make it work? First and foremost, you need to accept the fact that nobody is perfect. This is very cliche to say that out loud, I know, right? But it's true. You know how sometimes we take our whole life to understand a simple but delicate wisdom saying, I think this is it. Nobody is perfect. Sounds very easy, right? However, our nature is to be judgmental. We judge everything. We judge everything from people to things around us, and especially ourselves. But hey, show some respect to your physical appearance and your soul, would you? We don't usually think of how disrespectful and careless we are to ourselves. Let's take a look at the list that I have told you to write down earlier. If there are more than 5 things that make you uncomfortable or unhappy about yourself, then you might be a very unconfident person and have quite many insecurities. The thing is, maybe you are too harsh on yourself, and let's take a moment to ask a rational question. Do you want to be commended and judged by other people? You don't, right? So why are you doing that to yourself? I mean, the fact that it is your own bodies and characteristics doesn't mean that you have the right to be so cruel to it. The whole story of loving yourself is in fact the realization that we all have faults and we should embrace and show empathy instead of throwing some hate crime at ourselves. Moreover, you need to seriously get yourself ready for the thing I'm going to tell you right now. Are you ready? All right. You will never ever gonna escape from those insecurities. One way or another, they will always be there. Let's take doing cosmetic surgery as an example. After you have decided to make changes to your appearance and are totally happy with how your face turned out, you might face a difficult situation where you don't know how to admit that you have been through all of those steps to refine your beauty with other people. That's hard, right? This is what we call the opportunity cost. To get a deeper insight of the idea, I suggest you guys to read the book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, which is also perfect to read when you feel like your whole life is fucked up whatsoever. Next step is to have a conversation with yourself. Wait, what? How can we do that? I mean, you should spend time for yourself, which we call them by the name of me time, to reflect on things that happened in the past. This step is to help you to be aware of the cause, aka the root of your insecurities. Like, where do they come from? You can sit down and carefully think of what caused you to be so uncomfortable with yourself and what may hurt you. For example, some people feel that they cannot have a healthy romantic relationship because they had some bad experiences with their exes, being cheated on, being violently abused, or some don't believe in marriage because they used to have parents who didn't show love and respect to each other. In order to solve the problems, we need to look at it directly. Otherwise, we can never tackle them and the insecurities will always be there. So what you should do is to be honest with yourself. There's a saying that I like a lot, which is, it is a great wisdom to accept reality, and it is, even if it contradicts the story most people believe. So it might hurt a lot and bring back dark and unpleasant memories, but once you have the courage to face your insecurities, you will be empowered to overcome them. Last but not least, the third step, which is crucial, is to turn those negative feelings into positive motivation to change yourself for the better. This is why I say that feeling insecure is actually beneficial for you. To bring this theory into reality, you need to understand the power of our minds. According to Marisa Peer, a famous hypnotherapist, our minds are capable of changing the directions of our thoughts. In this case, from negative thoughts to a much brighter and positive ones. What this means is basically, you can repeat the words of power to yourself several times in a day in order to hypnotize your brain. For example, you are insecure about your ability to perform well at work, right? Now what you should do is to tell yourself that this is hard, I know, but I can do it. Repeat it. Repetition is the key here. We normally reach out for others cheering but not find it within ourselves. But according to Marisa Peer, whatever you focus on, you get more of it. And the minds are so powerful that whatever you think, our body will follow. So if you think about something enough, you will eventually get it. Another example is that you used to have some problems with your weight, like you used to be very chubby, and after a long time of trying to lose weight and finally achieve your weight goal, you are still not happy because there's always a voice at the back of your head telling you that this is not enough, you need to lose more weight. And thus people will still judge you for how you look, and the outcome of that is you will never be happy with yourself even though you look absolutely great. So what to do is to have a conversation with that voice in your head. Talk to it. Don't you see that I'm so slim now? The past is in the past. Let it go. In order for your mind to differentiate the differences between your weight in the past and your weight now, you have to talk to it. Otherwise, it will not know. All right? I think that's it for today's video. Let's recap a little bit. How to overcome your insecurities. Number 1, the acceptance. Accept that no one is perfect and that we all have flaws. Also, accept that the insecurities will always be there, one way or another. Number 2, the conversation. Spend time for yourself. Be honest with yourself to find the root of those insecurities that have been prevented you from doing what you want. Be brave to look at them directly. And number 3, last but not least, the power of minds. Remember that the more you focus on something, the more you get of it. Talk to your mind in the powerful and positive language, because minds can change the direction of thoughts. That's it. Thank you so much for spending time watching this video. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.